Yeah, right.
Okay. And oh, that looks so good. All right, beautiful. So you have your wax melted and let's see your brushes that you have. Do you have a brush melted?
Yeah, the brushes are in there. Wait, I'll get this over here. Oh,
Oh, good. Okay. So, yeah. So you're going to want to use the smaller brush when
yeah.
you're
Okay.
closer to the horse, right?
Okay.
And then I would use the bigger brush for the rest.
Okay. Actually, I probably, let's see,
And
I
you're not,
did.
are you going to go over the tree or you're not going to go, are you going to go over just the skyline and leave talk me through your plan.
Oh, I hadn't thought about the tree. I probably, oh, I should have made a little mask for the tree too. Although I could make it blurrier and then I'll bring it down. I don't know if you can see my hand.
Yeah, I see your hand.
Yeah. So I could bring it down here, just, blend, let all that go back a little bit. And then I also have to do these areas because, I think you had said that just to soften those a bit.
Hmm.
I'll use the smaller brush for that, for this and for this.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
use the smaller brush for any areas that you might want to like lift the brush or just not have as much wax to contend with because the bigger
Mm,
the brush, the more wax you have, and then the more you have to kind of like deal with everything.
okay. All right. Okay.
So
So should I start with the smaller brush and do the little areas first?
I would. I would
Okay.
start like actually on your stencil and you could even put like another little piece of paper on there that you actually put the brush down on and then go out from there. Does that make sense?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because when you go in towards something, you're more likely going to push the wax under the stencil. If you start on the stencil and go away, you'll have more confidence with your arm, I feel like, and you'll have more.
Okay, let me cut some paper. A little bit of paper then. So like I would cover this, is that what you're saying? Like,
No, just start, put your brush on the horse on top of the wax paper and go from there.
oh, okay.
No, I think you're good. I think you're fine. Don't overcomplicate it because then you might slip or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm worried about, I'll probably get some wax on my laptop, but okay. All right, so I've got the brush in and I'm getting wax off. Okay, so I start here. Does that look good?
Yeah.
Can you can see it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea. I see what you're saying.
Right, and maybe start more, no, more on the paper. So you see that, no, start on, yeah, because you see that thickness that's happening right there when you first land the brush. You want that to happen on the paper, not on the panel.
On the paper.
So drop it there and that, yes, better. And go broader strokes, your baby step. Pull that little hair out of that hockey brush too. There's a little hair sticking out of your brush. You can trim your brushes at any time with scissors
Yeah, I have trimmed them. I don't think I've trimmed this. I don't see the hair.
on
Okay.
the end of the brush.
Oh, I see it now. I see it. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this part right here. But that, I'm not gonna, this is too far from that. I don't well, I guess I could start here and then go all the way like that.
Yeah, you're not going that far. You're I think you can get a lot more for your you know what I'm saying? Like you could go, yep, and then yep, go further. There you go. Much better.
Only do the
So
edge.
deeper
Okay.
in the wax. Yep, you don't worry about your first deposit because it's going to be on that paper. So
Uh-huh. Okay.
okay, go straight onto that paper and then pull to yep, towards the hot plate. Yep, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Good.
That's a great idea.
Yep, on the paper and then pull away. And you can
Okay.
even do like radiating lines all the way out. So yep, go on the paper, pull out, yep,
Yeah, I see.
and then go from that
Right.
same spot, and then you can go down towards the corner.
I see there's some hair here.
Yeah, that's the hockey brush. I know I hate it when they shed.
So you're saying here and then down to this corner like that?
Sure, yep.
Okay. Now I can see the wax didn't go all the way, so I do it again.
Yeah, I would start the same place though. Yep. Yep, yeah. You just didn't get enough wax. That's okay. And it's like bumpy there.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't really need more wax. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's just do the whole thing. Let's all evaluate it. Sometimes let's like, keep moving.
okay. And this I'll have to scrape down a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to. Well, we're gonna hit it with the heat gun too, so we'll see how that does.
Okay. All right. Now, so start here and then start coming up.
Yeah, I would. Start on the paper and move out so that you don't get that like line. Yep. Yep.
I think I need to do more here. Okay.
Nice.
Then go up more higher.
Yeah, I would go keep going. Yeah, like clock. Like, yep, that's like
Oh, that's
1 o'clock, right? And then you're coming at 12 o'clock. I would go straight from that center. Yeah, that's nice.
yeah.
Perfect.
I haven't gotten to 12 o'clock yet,
Nope, you're getting closer though.
okay, boy, there's a lot depositing,
We'll
right?
try to land it more on the center of where your fingers are. Land the brush where your fingers are. Yep, there you go.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's gonna make a big difference.
Yep, land it where right in the center of that circle. That's nice. Perfect. Very good. Yep. Maybe even turn the panel. You can rotate the panel so that it's easier for your arm too if you turn the panel.
Okay. I just I'm just
It's
gonna
going to be hard for you to reach over to the other side. So what I would do is flip the panel so it's upside down.
upside down. Okay, hold on. Oh, of course. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, always. I always move the panel. And a lot of times, Pam, I actually paint upside down.
Really? You
Well,
paint or
I
wax?
paint I paint closest to the panel from my, that's better for my body.
Okay, can you see the whole thing?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
okay.
It's so much bigger than I thought it was. It's beautiful. It's
Oh, good.
really exciting. Yeah.
It took a long, it's very meditative. It's like doing little dots or something. Okay. Now, the next part is tissue paper. Is it safe to lay the wax, the brush on the tissue paper?
Oh, that's wax paper, the horse, you mean?
Yeah, this isn't wax paper, it's tissue paper.
Well, why don't you grab like just a piece of like scrap cardboard or something and just put it, uh,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Or
let's
another piece of paper, or maybe just cut it like a triangle or a square or something.
okay, I'm just gonna put that down because I'm afraid it'll slip the whole thing.
Yeah, just cut like two rectangles and then you can just kind of slide them around as you need them.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be probably a shorter session, so I don't have anything to critique. Everything that I worked on is still drying.
That's fine.
Yeah, and this still
Well,
doesn't,
you bought a chunk of time, so it's your time, and we if we whatever we don't use of your hour today, we'll add it to another session.
okay. But let's see, I'm just delighted to see another way to do, this whole thing about starting it on the paper, so there's less of a ridge
Well,
thing.
I always feel like that first contact with it is kind of like abrupt, and it can often like leave, all kinds of things like brush strokes or whatever
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay. Okay. Hey, get down there. Get down there. The paper's rolling. No, it's not flat paper. Yep, down there. Let's see. I have to have my hands. All right. Ah. You can see that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let me just feel, I think, oh, yeah, okay.
So you want to make sure you're going to try to go far, so you need a lot of wax. So now you know you don't have to worry about it. So put the brush onto the brown paper and then pull towards your belly button. Yep. Perfect.
Oh,
That was really good.
much better stroke. Okay,
Yep.
now,
Well, you're because you're not yeah freaking out about the
yeah. I'm not freaking out about it.
well, I mean, it causes a lot of anxiety when you know it's like maybe not gonna,
Yeah, no, I get
it's
it.
hard to get, it's like kind of like landing a plane, you kind of have to have a takeoff plan and a landing plan. And it definitely depends on the angle, to the panel. And
Mhm,
like the brush is also heavy when when you have all that wax in it and you're about to move it, it's quite heavy. So, you know,
mhm. Just want to put this down. I've been trying, as I'm doing this, I've been trying to do some things, just practice pieces to loosen up more,
uh-huh.
and now I wish I had made this tree over here. I wish I had made it off, coming from off the canvas.
Well, I don't know. I like that tree though.
Well, I like it, but I just want to do some things that are anyway. So I've been practicing doing, just like abstract strokes,
Uh-huh.
brush strokes, just to let's see.
Oh, it looks really good.
Oh, good. This is
And I think that this, using this technique is nice to just soften areas that you love, but you just don't want them to be quite so sharp.
yeah. No, I really get what you're saying that the focus wants to be on her and the horse.
Hmm.
So this one. But anyway, so I just realizing I get into these little detail things that it doesn't help me. I need to have some,
Well, right, but you also need to look at like as you're talking, you're noticing things about your personality or your style, but you also have to use that like flip discussion with yourself and say, oh no, this is actually one of my strengths, right? Like this attention to detail is actually what makes your work so interesting and complex and kind of intriguing is sort of, your heightened sense of certain details and your efforts and so switch your thinking on it and consider
well,
some of those things that are annoying maybe as your strengths.
thank you. That's good to know. But I still feel like I get into the details too fast and then I get stuck in them. And I just want to have that sense of some free brush strokes. Now this is pretty thick here. I'm just gonna
Well,
do
maybe
the,
that's because you're not going further enough on the paper, far enough on the paper. I think you're not going farther enough on the paper.
yeah, I'm not, okay, now this isn't as important for me to bring in, but I will do it. Okay. Yeah, because I'm starting here. Okay, so I have to do it here. Now I'm gonna flip it again. I don't know if I can. I think I'm just gonna have to wing it on the bottom to go across.
Okay,
Okay, so I've done this area, this area. It's still kind of bumpy over here.
that's
It's
okay.
okay.
So what I suggest, right, is because we don't have the main subject matter as much as a concern, is just start with the sky. If you want to add more on the sky, just start from the outside edge and go towards, or go crisscross from corner to, side to side.
Wait, am I doing
I think
X.
you have plenty like around the horse.
Yeah, okay.
So
So you
start from,
in, all right,
I would start from the outside in.
this way.
Yes. And so let that excess of wax kind of go off the edge and then goes smooth one. Yeah, like that. Yep,
Mm,
exactly. So use the edge to kind of take the excess wax off.
I
Right.
see.
Perfect.
There are bubbles here, but all right,
Well, that's because you just are dealing with an uneven surface. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know you've always said you should have a really clean, I mean, what do you call it? Flat surface.
uh-huh.
And a lot of times I don't.
Well, that's good. You can make the flat surface by just building up the wax.
Oh, and with the heat gun.
Yeah, but you don't want to use the heat gun on this too much because you don't want to destroy, you don't want to melt, you don't want to make a mush pile.
Right.
You want to make something beautiful. You don't want to make it mushy.
That hair, that looks like a hair over there. I have a tarp on the floor, so I don't really care what
Oh,
happens.
good. I was gonna say like,
Yeah, it'd be nicer if I should have put some paper down on that, but that's okay. It didn't do it. Yeah, so there are big holes
yeah,
here.
that's because that's so uneven. So what you do is I would just turn the panel again like a quarter, like,
Okay,
I would
hold
turn
on.
the panel so that you're going in a different direction.
Okay, let me, I am gonna put the paper on it, really, like it's stepping in the wet wax. Oh my gosh.
It looks really good. So turn it, yep. So
Turn it a
it's
quarter
like,
like this
yep,
way.
so rotate it that way. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh God. Uh-oh. I have to hold it here. Okay. Can you see it? You
Hmm.
probably can't see the end. Yeah. Ah, that was not good. Okay.
So use your edge too, and watch that leg is gonna, but it's like you can fix the leg. It's small.
Ah,
So flip it, get your brown paper back and go from the horse out if you're struggling. The next area, like that center part, you're gonna want to go from the horse out.
oh, okay. So
So
this.
get that extra piece of brown paper and lay it down in the body of the horse
Mhm.
and start from there. Nope, I would fold it in half, make it smaller.
And this way, like this.
Yeah, well, wherever you're not worrying about the top, so just match the line up to the line of the horse. Go along its
This,
neck, along its neckline.
this
Yeah.
way.
So start from there. Just match it up equally. Yep, and then go from there.
Okay. The legs are gonna be hard.
Yeah, I think they'll lay down if you go towards you. They'll lift up if you go against them, but I think they'll lay
Oh,
down. If Pam, if you
oh,
take the brush towards yourself, I think you'll be okay.
okay, so middle
Yep.
and over this way.
And look, you're putting a lot of pressure. I can see it in the way that you don't need to put any pressure on the brush or on the bristles. The let the wax flow. Like you're prohibiting the flow by
Okay.
adding weight and pressure. Yeah, release, release. Yes, much better. Do you see? The
Oh.
wax wants to move. It's like
Mhm.
water. So don't force it down because then it's dealing with pressure, right?
Yeah, okay.
Let it just go. Let it like slip. Like think of it like melted butter, right? And it just like you're going, and as soon as because it wants to cool also, right? So just keep it moving so it can't cool down. There you go. No pressure. No pressure on the brush with your arm muscle. Yep.
Okay, lots of dots here, okay.
I'm not worried about the dots are easy.
The boat, the
And they're actually, I always kind of, yeah, good. Now,
What's it?
this little leg part is going to be really hard. So you could do it that way.
But I have, if I do it down, I should be okay, right?
You're
If
going to be,
I,
go do it down. Yeah. And if, yeah, just go over the legs. Yep. Look, that looks great.
when there's dripping wax there. Now I'm gonna swish it around to get this area.
Okay.
And, uh, it's good. I liked it in the classes. Um, sometimes you would have your iPhone on top. That was really cool. Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah. Well, I got that. Yeah, the arm. You can buy like a holder for your iPhone, and then it's kind of like the copy stand idea where the phone is up over the artwork.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is cool.
Right, let's see. I've got
I
to
have
get,
one of those cameras. It's like a document camera.
oh, cool.
You can buy a document camera. It's not that expensive, and then you can just connect it to your laptop.
Oh, that's, okay. All right, get on there. Do the tail. I think I'm gonna have a lot of razor blading to do here.
Well, you might decide. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go over it. I mean, it'll be interesting when we lift the stencil. It could be really, it's going to be really beautiful. I mean, they do a lot of techniques like this in printmaking. I mean, this is a very like printmaker. If you watch videos on printmaking and printmaking processes, I mean, this is how they do multiple layered prints, with cutouts and stencils and
I'm,
masks,
huh,
and everything goes on in a different layer.
I'm seeing that this, okay, now what do we have here? There's an edge here, so I'm gonna go up higher like that and come down
Okay.
that edge. Let's see if I can do that. Still an edge. This one. Okay. All right. Well, it's still
So
the
I feel like that part, let's not overwork it. Do you want
yeah,
to add, so up here where this moon is and these other stars, you got a lot of holes. So
yeah.
you could just randomly add strokes up there to fill in those holes with wax medium.
So do I turn it around to do it from the edge or do I kind of dot
You,
it?
well, you need to figure out what's the best, I mean, what what's the best length for your body, right? Like how far your strokes are averaging. So I think you could go from this purple part to this area, and then maybe from the top back. I would keep switching directions. So you're like going
Oh,
in and then coming in from somewhere else, and coming in and coming in from, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. If that's the case, I think I better flip it around. Yeah, there are a lot of holes up there. Right. And they show a lot on the, oh, I've got wax on my. Oh my God. All right, can you see it? Can you
Hmm.
see it here?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's, oh, this will be on the paper, so that's okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this still is really holy.
Well, is the wax? I have another suggestion for you. Is the wax very when the wax is very warm right now? Do you have a
Um,
palette? Do you have a palette knife or a metal scraper?
I do. A palette. Oh,
Sometimes
I know what you mean. Okay, so maybe if I
you're gonna
move,
do a little bit of spackling.
am I do it like this, you mean?
Nope, nope.
No?
You need a
Okay.
palette knife or a metal scraper, either like the disc-like metal scraper that's like circular for pottery or a palette knife. Not the circular one. Try the palette knife. So the idea with the palette knife is that you're using your finger to direct the knife and you're going to take a little bit of the wax. No, no, very much on an angle. And you're going to take a little bit of wax and then you're going to push it back in. You're going to try to, you know, a spackle. You're going to
No.
spackle. So you're going to scrape a little bit of wax off and then you're going to put it in the hole and fill the hole. Nope, go
It's,
on an angle. It's funny. Go up. Yeah,
it's,
scrape it up. Where it's
yeah,
sticking up, scrape it off, and then use the wax to try to put it back in back in another hole.
I think it
So-
has to, I think it has to be warmer to
Oh, it
really,
cooled already? Okay.
yeah, to
So
use.
so do another brush stroke somewhere else and then see,
Okay, okay, do it,
or you can use your heat gun to heat it up and then try it. But I
okay.
think you're not ready to heat gun yet.
I don't have enough control with this. Let me get another one. Hang on. I have some smaller, more.
I also feel like you're not using enough wax. Like you kind of want like an abundance of wax for that. Oh, that's a better one. Yeah, don't use that pointy end though.
To take the whole thing here. It's not going in there. I understand what you're saying.
I don't see you having enough wax there. Like to the right, closer to the moon, you have more wax, but now you're saying that wax is cooled. So if that wax is too solid, then just wait until you have another opportunity. But the idea, Pam, is that you don't always just have to use the brush to fill in the holes. So it's like when you fuse it and it's warm, you could scrape up a little that's not going in the holes and literally move it like you're transplanting it. Consider like frosting a cake, like an area that you have frosting and you don't have frosting. It's like move it from the more frosted area and fill the hole with it.
Yeah, I
It's
have.
kind of a technique. It takes a little bit of kind of like using your hand and your wrist and scraping off the top and then transplanting it.
Oh, here, wait, here's it. I have done that now that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Sometimes when it's,
It might ring a bell. You know, the tool that I like is like this silver. It looks like it's like circular, like this shape. It's like an oval and it's silver. And then you just scrape it and then you turn it on its side. You take that wax, you put it right back in.
let me see if I can
So, and
find
also look where you have a lot of wax right now. Do you see on the paper you have a lot of wax?
it. Maybe I can have more control here. Yeah, I do. I have a lot. Yeah.
So that's an area where you could borrow wax when something like that is warm. You can go, oh, that's warm. I'm going to take that and fill this hole. It's kind
This,
of it is a lot like spackling. How you're not you can't use that tool for anything but scraping. You can't. It doesn't have that like removing and adding ability. That one only removes that scraper tool.
I have a different shape palette knife
Oh,
that
that looks a little better. I like the round one because it's not sharp. And you're using it, you got to use the front of the palette knife. You can't use the back.
you like this part. Oh, like this.
Yeah, you got to use it on, nope, and you're still using it too much. It has to be literally on its side. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to make a videotape of this technique for you. Yeah, better, but try using it on the paper where you have more wax. You don't have enough wax there. Yeah, but
Really?
it's too solid now. So
Yeah.
but do you understand when it's warmer, it should
Yeah.
literally just be like easy peasy. If you're struggling, if you're struggling, that
It's
means the wax is too cold.
right. I mean, I have done that like with a heat
Yeah.
gun, heat it, and then I can start moving the wax.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just a good idea in this situation because you don't want to disrupt what's underneath. So you
Mhm.
don't want to overfuse it. You don't want to use the heat gun as a tool here. So you're going to have to use either brushing or spackling, right? Because you can't use fusing as a tool because you can't disrupt what's underneath. And don't scrape too, you don't want to also just, right, you don't want to scrape too hard. You're scraping too much at an angle in. You got to scrape across the surface. Yeah, more like that. But you don't have enough wax there.
I mean, they're
And your
deep.
whole, yeah, you have a lot of holes. So let's just try the second layer approach and forget about that for now. Because
Okay.
do you feel like you have one whole layer on the whole thing?
Excuse me?
Do you have one coat of wax medium on the whole thing?
I do, but it's really bumpy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't want you to fuse this layer because I feel like you're too close to the pattern.
Okay.
So let's just go ahead and try a second layer and the
Okay.
same kind of just very gentle, very gentle fashion.
Okay.
So no weight on your hand, as long, like try to make it, think of it as like long distance running. You want to try to make it as light and airy as possible to last as long as you can, right?
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, great.
But it didn't get into the
That's
holes.
okay. The holes are going to be hard. Yep. Good. Now go to a different area. Don't overdo it. Let it kind of, let it go in stages, right? You don't want to go like 0 to 50. Enjoy each little step of the process. Yep. Now I would switch directions. So again, like if you're looking at this where the dark, yep, exactly. Perfect, perfect. Yes, excellent. Also, once you switch directions, you're going to have a little bit more of a chance to fill in those holes. Yep, beautiful. Good job. Now, when it's very hot like that, you might be able to spackle. So do you see where you have extra? You have extra closer to the corner. Yes, yes. Now use that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yes, you got it. Yes. Yep. Take and give.
Okay. Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
helpful.
take and give. So that's why you can be like, oh, I don't care if I have extra here because I'm going to move it. Take and give. Now, this might cause a slight discoloration, but it will provide you with a smooth surface. And you can recolor it or just let the discoloration be part of the work, which is
Hmm.
usually what I do.
Hmm.
I sometimes go for smooth versus perfect pigmentation or color. I kind of like pick one over the other.
Well, this is because all these years you've been saying smooth, smooth, and I can't get it. I can't always get it smooth. Like,
Well, this is a good technique to learn. The one you're learning now is the spackling. So it's like you're using the wax that you have to make that area smooth. You're transplanting. You're basically transplanting. And
yeah.
sometimes using a tool to transplant is helpful instead of always trying to use the brush. There's a certain
Mhm.
type of resistance that the wax and brush gives you, you know. All right, don't overdo
Mhm.
it. So that's good. I think that you're cool now. Now you can't really scrape anymore. All
All
right, so
right. So
try a different area.
okay.
Also, in 3 minutes, my Zoom is going to end. I'm going to have to send you a new Zoom.
Is that 40 minutes already?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's okay. Yeah,
it's
this will,
5:44.
wow. This will
Yep.
take the whole time. Okay. That's fine.
You're going to have fun with this. I think it's going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I've always had trouble with my waxing technique.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I don't really feel comfortable, but these have been fantastic suggestions to, you know, now this is too cold now.
Yeah, it does get to the point. I mean, you could make like a little side container or like, you can put a little pile of wax on I don't know, on a tile or something and scoop it off of there. But again, it only stays in that like molten,
Yeah.
movable stage for a short period of time. And then of course
Yeah.
harden, cools down.
Okay, that looks like a nice goopy thing over here. Got some goopy stuff here.
Yeah, and you can target certain areas, right?
What I've done, well, actually, what I've done in the past, but I didn't have such a complicated background, is oh, this is nice. This is good wax here. Is with the heat gun, just lightly heat gun it and then move the
This
wax.
technique, Pam, is going to give you so much more control because you really only have like every technique takes you to like a certain level of control, and then it's like you need another technique to kind of like patch it together. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm, mhm,
So it's like
mhm.
one technique, like brushing and brushing from different angles and masking with the brush. Like those are all techniques. And then you're like, oh my God, I still have holes. So
So,
this tool and this technique just takes you to that next, right? Where you're like, oh, I can patch these holes with this technique. Nice.
actually, there's a lot of wax on
All right, I'm
here.
gonna get disconnected. I'm gonna call you back.
Okay,
All right, I'm gonna stop this recording.
I'll be working on it.
Okay, I'm gonna send you another link.